Now let's meet the starting lineups for the 6-player championship game. First, the Osage Devilettes. The forwards, number 15, Ann Knutson. Number 23, Terry Fleming. Number 41, Ann Snyder. The guards, number 31, Nikki Gost. Number 41, April Hintz, 45. And number 43, Vicki Hackenmiller. The assistant coaches, Sarah Grimm, and Lon Lawler. And the head coach of the Osage Devilettes, Gary Knutson. Now the starters for the Hampton-Dumont Bulldogs. The forward, number 22, Olivia Menon. Number 30, Ivy Menon. Number 42, Catherine Hadley. The guards, number 32, Brenda Sweeter. Number 52, Stacy Jansen. And number 54, Kathy Lilienthal. The assistant coaches, Tim Nelson. And Jennifer Courier. And the head coach of the Hampton-Dumont Bulldogs, Carol Rugland. The floor officials, Steve Jansen and Rich Larson. Bench official, Dale Schreers.
So there you have it, the starting lineups in this one. The battle of unbeatens for the 1992 Iowa Girls State High School 6-player championship. The 5-player championship has been decided with West Des Moines Dowling. We'll see what happens here. What happened to get here? Ida Grove, Adair Casey, and Atlantic all fell at the hands of the Green Devils, the Devilettes. And for Hampton-Dumont, well, all they had to do is beat 3 unbeaten teams. Postville, Elkhorn, Kimballton, and Colonesco, and no small feat was that, Mike Henderson.
So Hampton had to work its way through the toughest of competition. Look at the team comparison. Almost even all the way. Both good shooting teams. Look at Hampton's 75% free throws. On Osage's 49-point defensive average to the lower left. Both over 80 points a game.
Just about set for game action. And inbounds in the forward court for Hampton-Dumont. Here are the Bulldogs. That's Ivy Menon, Catherine Hadley, Olivia Menon. And a stiff guard court defense, but the freshman gets the first 2 points in this basketball game. That was Olivia Menon. she is averaging 19.9. This is Ann Snyder. She is the leading scorer for Osage at 31.9. Catherine Hadley, and that's the basket that Carol Rutland wanted to see to get her out of the gates here in a hurry.
Right, in Menon and Ivy Menon and Hadley, we had the top two scorers in the tournament to the semifinals.
Here at Betts Auditorium, we're live in Des Moines, Iowa for the 1992 Iowa Girls State High School Championship. I'm Mike Newell along with Mike Henderson. Also on board, the Iowa boy Chuck Offenberger, George Turner as well, and Ann Snyder has 4 up on the board. She's the leading scorer for the Devilettes at 31.9. Catherine Hadley, Olivia Menon. This is Ivy Menon, who's had a whale of a tournament. And Olivia Menon comes out with the rebound. Ivy gets a second whack at it. And all 3 forwards have scored for Hampton-Dumont in a 6-4 ball game. We're going to see a number of threes, and Ann Kamikin has an uncanny knack of hitting her threes early. She is a sophomore, and she is averaging 19.5. Osage up by 1, but not for long. And Ivy Menon with 4. Osage has the luxury of being 5, maybe 6 players deep in the guard court who can play some basketball, Mike.
Yes, and Hampton has another big guard over on the bench.
Whoa! That was Terry Fleming. She is averaging 23.5. And she gets the 3. Scoreboard's got to do some catching up. And that was Olivia Menon, who's 2 for 2 from the field. And Snyder gets it to go down. She's 3 of 3 from the field. She has 6, and she is fouled. The hand goes in the air for Kathy Rosenthal.
Look at that crossover to the left side. She comes right straight across on the crossover, goes quickly underneath to the basket.
Into the guard court for Hampton-Dumont will be Kelly Whitty. And now a total of 7 points for Ann Snyder. The lead is 5 points for Osage.
Board's right. You mentioned that Osage is very deep in the guard court. Hey, is that Carol Rugland smiling?
There he is.
That's
My goodness, a smile from Rugland.
And he's down 5.
And Catherine Hadley on the line. You see on the far sideline Gary Knutson in his 11th season. Hadley gets a couple. April Hintz was whistled on the foul earlier on. And the scoreboard still catching up with us. It's 13-12. Osage leading Hampton-Dumont. And into the forward court. This is Hintz. Terry Fleming gets it tapped away. Getting a hand in on it was Stacy Jansen, but Fleming takes the break to the iron. She has 5. And Osage by 3. And putting the hand in the air for Osage, that'll be Vicki Hackenmiller, who picks up the second foul for the Green Devils.
This time we got Hadley deep. She's trying to feed Ivy in deep. 43 Hackenmiller, just a little too aggressive on the arms.
Olivia Menon, the exchange with Hadley. Hadley drops down low, the feed from Menon. Now Olivia Menon. Oh, the youngster is 3 for 3 from the field, isn't she?
And that was the heart and soul of the Hampton offense. The exchange the 2 post kids. You watch them. The one that starts out front always ends up as a low post.
Snyder again, and she's a house of fire with 9 points in the first 3 minutes and 40 seconds of the basketball game. And traveling is called the floor violation for Hampton-Dumont. Traveling.
I haven't been keeping up with my numbers, but I think that's 1.
Yep.
In fact, I knew it was 1. Dick McDonald's fingers said 1.
That's right. The takeaway, Olivia Menon off to Hadley. And for Hadley, that's the makeable shot. That's where you wanted to get a hold of the basketball. And
just a stoppage on the line violation.
Line violation.
The freshman got anxious. He was chasing after it.
Inbounds Osage. Osage, the number 2 3-point shooting team in the state, and Snyder again with 11.
Any chance she might be 5 for 5? I don't remember a miss.
I don't remember a miss either. She has the free throw. Yes, she is 5 for 5. Hadley. Ivy Menon. And Hampton-Dumont will bring it in. We'll remind you once again that the coaches are wired. For sound, that is. And we'll be hearing the coaches, Carol Rutland and Gary Knudsen from time to time.
We did last night. Oh, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice?
Move to the iron. Ivy Menon, I don't think she's missed. She's 4 for 4 with 8.
We know that Osage is 8 of 9 for a team.
3
I don't need a calculator to tell you that's pretty good.
Yep. Knudsen will be called for traveling. She took the extra step once she completed the dribble. There are times you can get away with it, but not this time with 3:10 remaining. First quarter action. Osage 5-3, and we'll be back right up to this.
Ever think of your local Cenex or Land O'Lakes cooperative as a landmark? Sure, it's no Grand Canyon or Eiffel Tower, but it's been there for a while. A long while. At Cenex Land O'Lakes, our roots run deep. We're committed to the country and to making your community a better place to live. Your local Cenex or Land O'Lakes co-op, a symbol of the country way of doing things.
Drive carefully and be home by 10. Ever since we started using Bucktel herbicide, old Buck's been spending a lot more time at the farm down the road. That's because Bucktel gives us fast knockdown on velvet leaf, cuckleburr, and other broadleaves. Plus, Bucktel lets us time our spray to the height of the weeds and not the corn. And that lets us adjust to Buck's new schedule.
When it comes to controlling broadleaf weeds in corn, nothing measures up to Bucktel.
That's Auditorium, Des Moines, Iowa. And those are the numbers as things are underway for the six-player championship. That's a Green Devil for you, Mike.
There's some numbers for you.
Yep.
There's some numbers. Look at that. One team, Hampton-Dumont, 88.9. That was Osage. Hampton, 70%. No wonder it's 19-16, barely halfway through the first quarter.
Yep. And what do they say? Kneecap to kneecap, eyeball to eyeball, and something's got to give. Carol Rutland.
Carol Rutland says, I'm in charge of the offense assistants. Help me out. Stop them.
And on the inbounds, it'll be Hampton-Dumont as Osage got it stripped away. We're going to see some forward court pressure here now from Osage. And Snyder puts the clamps on. Stacy Jansen into the forward court, and here are the Bulldogs. Hadley with the rainbow pass from Ivy Menon. Hadley has a total of 6. Here's Snyder. She's been hot. Not this time, as Fleming has the ball stripped away on the foul shot, and the foul is whistled on. Karen Hovingen.
Here we come off the offensive board, off that miss. Fleming's trying to reset up. It's going to be the girl close, furthest away from us with a foul on the arm.
That's her first. 2 team fouls now. Hampton-Dumont. My word. Fleming has a total of 8.
And the Devil extra 3 of 3 from beyond the arc.
That's the third. And we'll mention again, Osage is the number 2 3-point shooting team in the state, and the freshman Menon has 10.
Menon to Menon.
Snyder. And Knutson. And now the Bulldogs with Handley down low in heavy traffic. And a foul. Whoa. That's going to be Emily Wentz. Third team foul as we're inside 2 minutes.
Mike, Olivia Menon's 5 for... We're going to see the foul before I touch it with my thought. Hadley's over the top. A little bang from 33 right there.
And that is the premier forward, April Hintz, for Osage. That's Miller driving the baseline, and the hand goes in the air for Kelly Whitney. Third team foul, Hampton-Dumont. What's he thinking about right now?
Well, I don't know. He's certainly much quieter than he was last night.
Gary Knutson. He's all set for St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
That's sport cut, isn't he?
Well, he wasn't real silent there. Gets the ball.
Into the forward court, and here come the Bulldogs. Down by 2. And April Hintz the rebound. Keep your eye on this young lady, number 45 for the Green Devils. And the takeaway for Hampton-Dumont, and a chance to tie it again. 1:20 remains.
Give us a shot, Ref!
And over the shoulder, Olivia Menon gets the foul.
We talked about her being a freshman. She's 5 for 5 tonight, but she... every time I start to talk about her, there we go again. Here's Menon keeping the ball in play. Goes to Hadley on the foul.
Nice move for Ryan Snyder. Scooped it up in the layup, left-handed. Snyder with 13. And a minute remains in the quarter.
Who's there?
Fast-paced, lots of scoring. And I'll tell you this, 3 straight times in possession in the forward court for Hampton-Dumont. Those were makeable shots, all 3 of them.
Get back!
And now a 6-point lead as Knutson has 5. Ivy Menon, Olivia Menon, past her. And 4 straight possessions. Hampton-Dumont can't get anything to go down the hole. 3 shots and the turnover.
And that's their 3rd turnover of the contest. Osage guards, this group of guards was the group I liked last night. This is the quick set.
They got a tall set and a quick set, don't they, Mike?
Right. April Hintz plays with both. She's tall and quick both.
Snyder. Fleming, they'll wait to the final shot. Winding down to 10 seconds. Market. Will they go for a 3? Leading by 6? Nope. Free throw line jumper. And boy, that freshman, that sophomore, Knutson, gets off the floor, doesn't she? She has 7. And an 8-point lead in the early going.
The Osage forwards are just so athletic, and they got so many different options with them, where Hampton most of the time runs the same offense.
And that's the end of 1 quarter. Lots of points up on the board in this one. An 8-point Osage lead, and we'll be back right up to this.
Now that ethanol has replaced lead and gas, the air's a lot cleaner for everyone, especially kids. Cars are emitting less carbon monoxide, which helps hold down ozone pollution in our cities. And that detergent additive in ethanol keeps dirty gas from clogging fuel injectors. You don't need as much foreign oil either. And ethanol has opened new markets for American farmers. Cleaner air, cleaner lungs, and cars that run cleaner too. All from a homegrown product. Guess ethanol gives us all a boost.
Available at your Cenex or Land O'Lakes Cooperative.
We're on to the second quarter at Vents Auditorium in six-player basketball. Let's go to the fan in the stands, sponsored by Menards, helping families build America's heartland for 32 years. Save big money at Menards. Here's the Iowa boy, Chuck Offenberger.
And some of them are faxed in, and we start on Monday and work them up by Friday.
What was the toughest one to learn?
Odebold Arthur.
What was it like playing Dowlings, your arch rival?
We try to encourage the kids to do the best they can on all the music.
Thank you, Tony Garmo. Back to you, Mike Newell.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony Garmo, and thank you, Chuck Offenberger. I think he was going to try to borrow his sport coat.
All right.
Yeah. Sizing him up.
Oh, it continues.
Snyder continues. She has 15, and the lead now is 10.
They were 12 of 15, 80% the first quarter. It just went up a little.
That's Ivy Menon. And the hand goes in the air. It'll be Vicki Hackenmiller with her second. That's 4 team fouls. Now here's the situation in the guard court for Osage. Going to the line will be Ivy Menon. She scored 54 points in the opener against Postville. And guess who has the assignment on her? April Hintz.
You know it.
And when she warms up, this is going to be a different basketball game, but look at the defensive assignment on her. All skater. And 2 go up. She has 6, Ivy Menon. 30-22. That's April Hintz. Ann Snyder. Knutson. Snyder. No hesitation from the sophomore. Iron is cleared. Stacy Jansen, who's had a great tournament for Hampton-Dumont. Olivia Menon. Now Catherine Hadley. Ivy Menon gets it cross court to Catherine Hadley. Olivia Menon. Now the post will drop low. That's Hadley. And that breaks the cold spell. Hadley with 8.
They caught him in a little rotation on that defense that time. That's an easy layup.
And Snyder. And Knutson. Snyder again. Here comes 3. Not this time. And Hampton-Dumont gets it into the forward court. Hadley. Olivia Menon. This time she takes the shot. She has 12. Has she missed yet?
Yeah, she had 1 miss on the baseline.
Okay.
I think it was only her 3rd miss of the tournament.
The 10-point lead is down to 4. An unanswered 6-point run for Hampton-Dumont. The Bulldogs get into this basketball game, but not before the foul is picked up by Kathy Loganthal.
The real quick jab step and torso removed to the left by Snyder has them confused. Again, they're step behind it.
It's her second. Loganthal. She has 4. That is 4 team fouls with Snyder going to the line. We mentioned before, Mike, that there's a lot of athletic talent on this Osage team. Volleyball players in particular. Second rated in the state. Went to the semifinal round. Snyder makes 1 of 2 from the line. The forward court rebound, and she gets one to go down the hole. She's got 18. And that snuffs out that 6-point run for Hampton-Dumont. Hadley. And the collision after the shot in. Olivia Menon with the forward court pressure will pick up the 5th foul for Hampton-Dumont. And there's going to be a timeout with 5:38 remaining in the second. Osage 33, Hampton-Dumont 26. We'll be back right after this.
America's Bounty, brought to you by the 20 million people who put food on your table. We Americans have had a long love affair with the automobile. And as with most affairs, there have been turbulent times. Times when we felt trapped and wanted out. Times when we tried desperately to get in. And times when we just weren't sure what we wanted. But throughout all, our passion for cars has never ceased because they give us something we treasure dearly, the freedom to follow our dreams. When you come to Norwest, come to expect the best.
Those are the numbers, a high-scoring affair here at Vets Auditorium in Des Moines. Let's go to the Norwest quick stats. Mike Henderson.
The first number on there is the one that jumps out. 14 of 19 for Osage in the field. They haven't been layups. Hampton shooting well at 52-4, but overshadowed. Nothing else is significant yet. The shooting's a difference.
You know, you keep up 74% shooting, and you can move on down the highway without looking over your shoulder. And there's another one. My goodness, Ann Knutson gets the fourth three-pointer for Osage, and it's her second. And we're back up to the 10-point lead for the second time in this one, and that's the basket that Carol Rugland wanted to see from Ivy Menon, who now has 8. Should she be able to get into the scoring column a bit more, this game could change in a real hurry. Knutson on the drive to the iron left side.
Knutson shows to want to drive to the basket more than she has in the first 3 games, Mike. That time it kind of takes Hampton by surprise because Stacey Jansen wasn't really off balance when she came out to get her.
Fire to Billy Joe Wobena. Knutson. By the way, there's no relation between Ann Knutson at the line and Coach Gary Knutson. As a matter of fact, the spellings are different.
I was going to say, if they are, I had about 3 typos in all my programs.
12 points for Ann Knutson, and a third 10-point lead for Osage. We're at the 5-minute mark, second quarter. Recovering is Hadley. Her pass is interrupted. We'll go the other way.
The Osage zone has Hampton really confused at this time. They're concealing it so well, they pop a girl out hard on whoever's on the point. Basically a 1-2, I think, although it's switching off with a 1-2-1.
Snyder. Mike, what we're seeing with Fleming getting the recovery, and now 10 points. What we're seeing here is the biggest lead in the basketball game at 12, but as evenly a matched team from top to bottom in Osage as we've seen in years.
Certainly are, and I thought that in volleyball. Here we come. Now, this is a questionable call by a lot of people in Hampton. Ivy Menon, there was 2 choices.
Yep.
You could have had a travel, a charge, or a block. Gary Knutson would have liked 2 of the 3.
That was Gast with her first. And now 5-teamers for Osage. Very steady and not what you would call a spectacular team, Osage. But talk about spectacular. How about that freshman? Olivia Menon leading the way with 14 for Hampton-Dumont. And Knutson with her third. That's 5 3-pointers. And the biggest lead of the game is now 13 for Osage.
It's awful for Hampton to score every time. Now they still lose a point every trip.
Once but twice for Ivy Menon. And the foul is whistled on Vicki Hackenmiller. And I got her for a third. Look at that from upstairs.
Kind of a different kind of release, but it worked. That's 4 for 5 from 3-point range for Ann Knutson.
Free throw line is Olivia Menon. Back up on that, Ivy Menon. She gets a couple now with 10 and a 43-31 ball game from ground level. You see the forward court pressure on the guards for Osage. Across the timeline and getting a hand on it was Hadley, but she violated the center court line, and so it's inbounds Osage.
As a team, Osage 5 of 7 from the 3-point range.
Kelly Fleming has 12.
You're right, I'm wrong.
All righty, the jump shot here. Ivy Menon has 12. And the scoring pace picks up. Here are the Devilettes. Oh, good cross-the-lane drive for Terry Fleming. I'll tell you this, we saw that 74% shooting. I don't think it's gone down, Mark.
It hasn't. They haven't missed since then, anyway.
3:15 remaining in the quarter. The lead is 14 points for Osage. And Hampton-Dumont, very steady basketball team, doing what it can to get back into it. And Hampton-Dumont clearly is getting shots not to go down that normally go down for them.
And Hampton-Dumont is continuing one of the trends we've seen through the tournament. They rebound awfully well at their own end.
Mike Newell and Mike Henderson.
Give us at least a fair shot.
Here at Vets Auditorium, and you hear the Osage head coach say, give us a fair shot at Tom Captain Hadley.
He said it worked. I'll probably try that question again. That's right. That is Gary Knudsen, you see. Calling to talk to his guard.
April Hens says, first over there. He says, hurry up, get over here.
Be patient, Coach. We'll be there.
21 position if you get rotated out.
Hadley has her first foul, and on the free throw line is Terry Fleming. It's a veteran Osage team with 7 seniors, 7 juniors, and a sophomore. Fleming with a couple. She has 16. Very even scoring for Osage. 18 for Snyder, 16 for Fleming, 15 for Knudsen. Takeaway. And a 16-point lead for Osage. Stacy Jansen tracks it down in midcourt. Hampton-Dumont, we mentioned earlier, had to beat 3 rated teams during the state tournament to get to the final. They are meeting their 4th. Emily Witt gets her 2nd. 7 fouls Osage.
We're doing what? We're hitting the ball and you choke.
Carol Rugland, now in his 35th year of coaching, 19th at Hampton-Dumont. And here's Olivia Menon. I got her for what, 16?
That's where I'm standing with her.
And a 14-point lead.
I gave credit to the other set of guys before. This is the best defensive series of the tournament for Osage, and it's Hintz along with Vicky Hackenmiller and Nikki Goss this time.
Another good cross-the-lane drive, and Snyder with 20.
He comes up where the ball goes on, you're automatically...
And up front, the pressure and the whistle. Nikki Goss picks up her 2nd.
That's the one, huh? Nitpicker? Hey, Nick.
Nitpicker.
He's back. He's nitpicking.
Gary Knudsen with a little editorial comment.
He said nothing wrong with that, Ref. That's her nickname.
Nitpicker, yeah. Catherine Hadley, the line. She's the leading scorer for Hampton-Dumont at 30.3, now with 10 points. Coming to the 2-minute mark here in the 2nd quarter. Fleming works the baseline, and Hampton-Dumont will bring it in. Knudsen didn't set up long enough. She's called for the block. First forward court foul for Osage.
We saw Stacy Jansen going up the floor. Hank Knudsen got a knee, and she was trying to get planted, but never got there.
We've reached the bonus both sides of the ledger. And Hadley.
See, you gotta have your kids know. They don't know what's going on.
That's Carol Rugland you hear in the background now.
Hadley makes 1 of 2. She has 11. A nice move for Ann Knudsen. Got the rebound, reversed the pivot, and put it down the hole. She has 17. And Just 1 point separates the 3 forwards for Osage. Menon answers. She has 14. That's Ivy Menon. Snyder. Rebound, Brenda Sweeter for the Bulldogs. Now the forward court, Hampton-Dumont. Ivy Menon. Olivia Menon and Catherine Hadley.
Start calling her the big O.
Oh, she has 18
for offense. And we will be within the next 3 years, Mike. Oh, yeah. She's going to score a bundle of points for what she's done.
Great fundamentals. But that doesn't surprise you with the Carol Rugland team. Down to the 22nd mark. The lead is 11 points for Osage. They'll wait to put it up at the buzzer. Knutson powers it to the iron, and along the way, Kathy Lilienthal picks up her third.
Carol Rugland's wanting to get this half over with.
Yep.
He's got a little visiting he wants to do about hustle and intensity. He's the one that said it on the bench, so we're not going to repeat anything else. Go. He said they're hustling, we're not. Really great effort.
Well, Rugland also knows that very few teams can sustain 75% shooting for a whole game.
Right.
And his forwards are not getting the ball to go down on shots that are makeable. They're getting the shots they want. And Knutson now with 19 points and a 13-point lead as we go to the halftime break. The Green Devils from Osage. The Bulldogs from Hampton-Dumont. It's 55-42, and we'll return with the Hall of Fame presentation right after this.
For as long as we've been pumping gasoline, we've been pumping poisonous carbon monoxide into our air. It wasn't a major problem at first. There were simply fewer cars on the road. But over the years, as we've pumped more gasoline, our carbon monoxide emissions have grown too. And even though today's cleaner burning cars have helped reduce carbon monoxide levels, the problem persists for everyone. But part of a solution is already here: ethanol blended fuels. Ethanol blends reduce deadly carbon monoxide emissions significantly and help hold down ozone pollution in our cities. And a detergent in ethanol keeps engines running cleanly. That makes one conclusion perfectly clear. The more ethanol blends we pump into our cars, the less carbon monoxide we pump into our lungs.
Good evening. This is the Channel 3, 10 o'clock.
Ever since we sprayed the corn with Bucktril herbicide this afternoon, old Buck's been pretty excited. That's because Bucktril gives us fast knockdown of velvet leaf, cucklebur, and other broadleaves. In fact, the minute Bucktril hits a weed, the show's over.
When it comes to controlling broadleaf weeds in corn, nothing measures up to Buck.
Buck swears it works so fast he can hear the weeds drop.
In this, the 32nd year of the Iowa Girls Basketball Hall of Fame, 167 former players have been inducted into this prestigious association. Over 500,000 girls have played basketball in high school in Iowa, and tonight 2 players joined their illustrious sisters in the Iowa Girls Basketball Hall of Fame. Inductees will be escorted by Gail Hartigan of Trainer, and trophies will be presented by Susan McDermott of Cedar Rapids, both members of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Board of Directors. Now let's meet the inductees. A love of girls basketball began in 2nd grade with a trip to a game with her father. Following the game, a basket was set up in the basement, and from then on, every chance was given to shooting baskets, progressing to a rim on the side of the barn and then to various school gymnasiums. The hard work was culminated in high school when in her junior year she led her team to the state championship. In the final game, down by 1 point after 3 quarters, she hit 7 of 9 field goals including her team's last 5 points to win the championship game by 4. Her play as a scorer and all-around player earned her the vote of the all-tournament team captain. Her senior season, she again led the team to state, her last second shot winning the quarterfinal game, but a repeat title was ended in the semifinals. Again, her fine all-around play earned a spot on the all-tournament team. 4 years at Waldorf and Luther College followed, and she was the leading career scorer, even though playing on the same team with the number 2 and number 3 career scorers. Her unselfish attitude won the plaudits of both high school and college coaches, who said she was happy, dedicated, coachable, honest, and having a great work ethic and attitude toward competition. Following a college career where she scored 1,829 points, she was inducted into the Luther College Athletic Hall of Fame. 4 years of high school and 4 years of college competition did not dull her enthusiasm for the game. She's now coached 15 years and presently is the head girls basketball coach at her alma mater, Roland Story. Married to Don Brothen, mother of a son, welcomed the girl with a long-time love affair with basketball, a state champion, a 2-time All-Stater, and all-tournament team captain from Roland Story 1973, Hall of Famer Kathy Kameen. The year is 1953, and this Iowa farm girl that had not shot a basketball or seen a game until she entered high school is on the United States team that will win the first World Women's Basketball Tournament. She's in Santiago, Chile, a far piece from LeClaire, Iowa. Following a high school career that showed great improvement every year, including a senior year average of 28 points, she is recruited by American Institute of Commerce in Davenport to play basketball. Her first year, the team finished as National AAU runner-up. The next season, the team makes a 6-week trip to Mexico and Central America, losing but 1 game, a 1-pointer in Mexico City. The following season, the team is again the National AAU runner-up, and she's one of the guards on the 10-girl All-America team. This resulted in her selection as a member of the squad to go to Chile. Meeting in Miami, the girls learned that they would play boys' rules, use the Olympic ball about the size of a volleyball, and play on mostly outdoor courts. Preliminary games were scheduled in Peru and Chile to raise expense money as they were not funded by the United States. My, how times have changed. At the World Tournament, the team wins every game but one, and in the final game defeats the home team, Chile, 49-36 to claim the gold medals and a huge trophy. She states that probably her most satisfying game was the win over France, where she so frustrated her opponent with intercepted passes that she was knocked to the ground and stomped on, resulting in her opponent's ejection from the game. South American fans became incensed in one game when one of their players fouled out and showered the floor with rocks, coins, apples, and even newspapers rolled into torches and set on fire. Following her return from Chile, she turned down a chance to play with the professional Dallas Redheads to return to work for John Deere and Moline. Now married to Harold Clausen, mother of 3 sons, she's involved in 4-H work and was a 3-time chairperson for the Ground Pork Cook-Off held in Des Moines. Welcome now a member of the team that pioneered women's Olympic basketball, an All-American, and now Iowa Girls High School Basketballer Hall of Fame from LeClaire, 1949, Betty Clark. The Iowa girls are proud to welcome these 2 new members to the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union prestigious Hall of Fame. This is the initial year for awarding the annual E. Wayne Cooley College Scholarship Award. The scholarship will be given annually in recognition for the Athletic Union Executive Secretary's 38 years of past and future service. The scholarship jury chose from 176 applicants a remarkable achiever, a consistent contributor to the welfare and health of her school district. Academic achievement is unquestioned, being a 4-year academic letter winner, 4-year honor roll, National Honor Society membership, a 4-point grade point average. School activities are pronounced at the highest level in volleyball, basketball, 8 athletic letters, excellence in band, choir, drama, Spanish club and speech, a CPR instructor, yearbook editor, and she attained the highest athletic honor available in winning the Athletic Union State Golf Medalist Championship. Community health and welfare contribution is channeled through her church life as a song leader, lector, youth committee at St. Francis Xavier Parish. As we now congratulate and wish her well, please recognize the first awardee of the E. Wayne Cooley College Scholarship, $10,000 for future enrichment of her life and the lives of those she may touch. From Beckman High School of Dyersville, Iowa, Leah Ray Willenborg. And now, on with the cleanest show in town. We pause now for these messages from your local station.
It's here, Domino's new, better-tasting pizza. More melted cheese, big batter topping, tender, tasty crust. More melted cheese, big batter topping,
tender, tastier crust.
From this day on, every Domino's pizza is going to be better than ever.
Nobody knows like Domino's. How you like more melted cheese, big batter topping, tender, tastier crust.
Try a medium with unlimited toppings, now just $9.99. Another $4 more.
Now, a coast-to-coast savings event, the biggest in our history. Announcing the National Jeep Sale at your Jeep and Eagle dealer. Save over $2,900 on the rugged Jeep Cherokee, or up to $900 on the freedom-loving Jeep Wrangler. Now, the vehicles that fit in anywhere fit even better into your budget. So hurry in today, because while our vehicles know no limits, our sales do.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer, where you can expect the best.
We used a loan to fix up old classics, like this 58 Pontiac.
Tom and Marcia Reno have a line of credit through American Family Financial Services.
There were no closing costs, no extra costs at all.
And you don't need to be insured with American Family to get a loan.
Couldn't believe how fast and easy it was.
We like things streamlined.
American Family Insurance.
Look in the white or yellow pages for the American Family agent nearest you.
So I says, Buck, how can you expect to get 95% knockdown of both broadleaves and grasses? Well, that's a smart weeding dog.
The 1992 Iowa Girls Basketball Tournament Championship Finals are brought to you by your local Cenex Land O'Lakes cooperatives. We're proud to support rural youth. By Norwest Bank, Iowa, proud sponsor of the 1992 Sportsmanship Awards. And by DuPont Extrazine 2, the corn herbicide with 1/3 less atrazine.
By Burger King, your way, right away. And your local Jeep Eagle dealer where you can expect the best.
Back here at Betts Auditorium in Des Moines, a 55-42 basketball game at the halftime. Osage leads Hampton-Dumont. Lots of basketball coming up. Let's go downstairs to the Iowa boy, Chuck Offenberger.
Thank you, Mike Newell. Got a real estate tournament fan here with me, U.S. Senator Chuck Grassley from New Hartford. Glad to have you back, Senator.
I'm glad to be with you, and I missed last night for the first time in 12 years. I missed the semifinals because we were working on the tax bill, and I couldn't get a plane out of Washington until 8 o'clock.
You got quite a Grassley contingent over here in the stands. I saw earlier. Who you got with you tonight?
Well, I got my youngest son, Jay. I've got my oldest daughter, Wendy, her husband, Mark, and my daughter-in-law, Diane Grassley, the wife of my son that farms, and 2 grandchildren.
Jay Grassley is your youngest son, I think. Did you just tell me, is he the coach in your family?
He is a coach. He's the assistant coach in New Hartford. Then he also works the high school volleyball circuit for girls.
He's the assistant boys basketball coach at New Hartford.
Yes.
Wife Barb, you and Barb have how many children altogether?
We have 5 children.
Still living at the Hold Home Farm off New Hartford?
On a farm at New Hartford, yes.
Well, coming out of Washington today, you say you came out today?
I left 8 o'clock last night, but didn't get here until 11:30.
You've been, we were just talking, you're 58 years old. You've been in an elective service of Iowans for how long now, going back to legislative days?
Since 1958, I was elected to the state legislature.
Let's project, 12, 15 years down the road. What do you want to, what's left that you want to do governmentally, politically? You got any goals for yourself?
Yeah, I want to be a leader in the United States Senate. I want to be chairman of the Judiciary Committee. I want to just be a good legislator.
Is Senate going to be it for you? I mean, have your eye on any other position?
Well, if you're mean, am I running for president or something? The answer to that is no.
That was the other senator, I think. How about back here in Iowa, in the state, one of the state offices?
Well, maybe when I leave the United States Senate, I may run for the legislature again where I started out.
Chuck Grassley, glad to have you back here again with us. Thank you very much. Back to you, Mike Newell.
Well, thank you, Chuck, and thank you, Chuck, and we'll be back right after this.
Biodegradability, oxygenated fuels, sustainable agriculture. Since the environment's become a priority, a lot of new words have cropped up. But at Cenex Land O'Lakes, the environment has always been important. And now we're taking action in every area: feed, seed, petroleum, and agronomy. So when you hear all the new environmental words, remember a couple that have been around a while: Cenex and Land O'Lakes.
In 1970, Bruce Taylor had a dream for his newborn son. He worked 2 jobs, skipped vacations, and never forgot his dream. And after 22 years and a little help from Norwest, his dream has become a reality. For over 100 years, all over Iowa, we've been helping people just like Bruce Taylor. When you come to Norwest, come to expect the best.
We're back here at Betts Auditorium, a 13-point lead for the Green Devils, and we're going downstairs once again to the Iowa boy, Chuck Offenberger.
Mike Newell, thank you very much. We're down here. You just saw this award presented out on the floor. We got Leah Ray Willenborg here from Dyersville Beckman High School.
Hello, nice to meet you.
And we got E. Wayne Cooley, the boss here. Wayne?
Well, it's nice being in the company of Leah. I'm rather proud of her.
You got to be proud of getting the scholarship off on its start, though.
Yeah, humility keeps me from saying much about that, but I don't know what nicer thing could happen to a person after a few years' service.
Leah, $10,000 is a nice start to take to college. It's got to help in the family. Do you have brothers and sisters back home in Dyersville?
Yes, I've got a younger brother and 2 younger sisters, so this will help very, very well.
Blue chip, you're a real blue chipper. I read that resume. It's a phenomenal thing. You're an athlete, you're a basketball player, and a state golf champion, I think.
That's correct.
Going to pursue the athletics as you go into college? I know you'll be stressing academics, but what about athletically in college?
I would like to play golf in college. We'll see what happens, but I'll be real thrilled just to stay with it.
What about college? Where are you looking?
I'm looking either at Iowa State or to Loras College. I haven't quite decided which of the two, but I'm quite anxious to find out.
We got the check here from the boss, $10,000. I think we need a signature on this, Mr. Cooley.
Shall we make it really legal, Leah? You want it on there?
We're making it official now. Looks a little better now.
Excellent.
Wayne Cooley, another great show this year. 35th tournament or 38th tournament?
38 of them. Just getting started.
Just getting started. Going to be back again next year, you told me the other day.
Read your column today. I know what you're thinking.
Thank you. Back up to you, Mike Newell, for the second half.
Well, thank you, Chuck Offenberger, and thank you, of course, E. Wayne Cooley. Quite an honor, isn't it, Mike Henderson?
Oh, it certainly was, and maybe after this he'll sign Troy's for my check, too.
I hope so. Leanne, $10,000. The
right.
first recipient of
she's just a great young lady.
E. Wayne Cooley scholarship. Let's take a look at the numbers.
The number's still the same as it's always been. 21 of 31 in the field, 66%. Everything else is pretty even. The 5 of 8 three-pointers also an advantage to Osage.
We are underway with the second half, and Osage to bring it in. Triggers from 3 with Fleming. Snyder down low, crosses the lane, not this time. Hampton-Dumont. And the collision up court, and the foul is going to be called after the release of the pass of Brenda Sweeter. And that's her first. Osage gets it back again. And the rebound cleared by Kathy Lodenthal.
And they came out cold. I don't think they ever missed 3 in a row in the first half. That's 0 for 3 out of the locker.
Olivia Menon. Osage the rebound. That's Ann Knutson to bring down that rainbow pass. Biggest lead of the first half, a 16-pointer. Near save at the baseline and slow to get up.
We're going to watch. Here comes Snyder down the lane. She started that crossover and the ball went out. I don't think she's hurt. I think she was just working awful hard for the ball.
And the drive for Ann Snyder. She'll pick up her first foul.
I would say Snyder, she's a little out of control. She swings to the left to get away from 32. Swings right into 52, Stacy Jansen. 6 turnovers for him.
Second foul in the forward court for Osage. And now we go to the forward court and the uncontested turnover. The exchange from Ivy Menon to Catherine Hadley gets it back to Osage in the guard court.
So, Gary Knutson's thinking, well, we'll start shooting our 80% again any second now. Look, she hit the ball. Catherine Hadley.
And the foul will be called in the forward court. Or the guard court. And Hadley will get her second. Knutson again. She's not the kind of kid that might miss 2 in a row, Mike.
She's not the kind of kid to get bashed and quit shooting either.
That's right. That's her 4th three-pointer of the basketball game. And the 6th in the contest for Osage. Ivy Minnan has 16. First half, 5 of 8 was Osage from 3. Fleming gets her first 2 of the second half. She has 18. And a 16-point lead here in the third. Hadley tries to power to the iron. And it'll be Heckenmiller with her 4th.
Entry pass was totally responsible for everything good that happened. Watch this great pass inside. Force the Osage guards to converge. I give Olivia Lennon a lot of the credit for this free throw coming up.
Coming on will be guard court, Karen Huvinga. Hadley with her first 2. Hadley was held to 11 points in the first half. She's the leading scorer for Hampton-Dumont. Now a 14-point lead for Osage. 5:40 remains in the third, and from upstairs. Give you a good look at the forward court pressure being put on the guards for Osage. Snyder. Free-throw line jumper for Fleming, who has 20.
Mike Noah, you can only have one of these 3 Osage forwards. Which one do you want? Hey, that's the trouble the all-tournament people are going to have.
You're absolutely right. When we take a look at the all-tournament team, well, you take a look at Osage's contribution in the forward court. What are you going to pick?
Gary Knutson got all 3 of them. He's lucky. The rest of us can only have perhaps 2, but most likely 1.
In the first half, Ann Snyder at 18, Ann Knutson 17, Terry Fleming 16.
And it's been that way all week. And we come over the top. There's another great athletic move by Terry Fleming. A little bit too much in.
Snyder got a hand on it as it crossed the midcourt line, and Hampton-Dumont brings it in again. And Menon will be called for traveling. Advance the ball. Well, I tell you this, when you take a look at the numbers in the first half and you see Hampton-Dumont with 42 points on the board, and you're Carol Rugland and you're thinking 42 points, that's half our average. We're hitting 83 a game, 83.3, but you're down by 13.
Yeah, they're on track for 110.
And it'd be easy to blame it on the guards for Hampton-Dumont, but I don't buy it for one reason. And Snyder gets her first 2 for one reason. That reason is this. This team shot 68% Osage in the first half. And they were shooting upwards in the, 70-plus for the better part of the first half. You can't blame your guards on that. And there's a timeout with 4:27 remaining in the third. 64-48 is the count, and we'll be back right after this.
The floors in your home new life with help from Menards. New undercarpeting is on sale now. It's Scotchgard protected with an attached back for easy installation. Choose from 8 colors, just $7.99 a square yard. And get deep cleaning results anytime with the Bissell Power Steamer. It picks up where vacuum cleaners leave off. On sale now for just $137. Save on your home improvements every day at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Our X's and O's are going down on the sideline. What did Carol Rugland tell his Hampton-Dumont Bulldogs at the halftime? What's he telling them right now, Mike?
Well, I think right now he's going to tell them they're going to have to stay out of their, pull out a little bit out of the zone that they've been in because they, and get a little more pressure on the outside, but be careful, they'll backdoor you to death. Offensively, don't give up. Stay with your offense. Those shots are there. They're gonna start falling.
64-48 is the count, and Osage nervously up on the clock.
Osage is on a real cold streak now. They're all the way down to 62% shooting for the game.
My goodness. And that was Ivy Menon on the inbounds play to get it to go down in the forward court foul, or the guard court foul. Ivy Menon now with 18. She'll try to make a three-pointer out of it. And Scholes, Elizabeth Scholes. 19 points for Ivy Menon. Elizabeth Scholes gets her first. 13 points to lead, and Osage wants to keep the pressure on. Karen Hovinga gets her second. 4 unbeaten teams in the championship game, and 6 days of basketball activity with the curtain coming down. Dowling of West Des Moines is crowned the 5-player champion, 69-44 over Bettendorf. And Osage trying to put the lid on this one, and you get hot shooting like that from the baseline from Terry Fleming, you're going to do it. She's got 22. Not looking back over the shoulder, are they?
No, they sure aren't.
Olivia Menon with 18. Knudsen triggering, and Hampton-Dumont gets into the forward court mix. Hadley to Menon. And a foul on Ivy Menon. It's her first.
I hope we see this, because I think this is the best guard in the tournament. Look at that end quickness, going to the ball. He got almost saved out of bounds and then was kind of checked out of bounds.
April Hintz has the assignment on Ivy Menon. And Menon picks up the foul. Here's Ann Snyder again. Terry Fleming has 25. It's her third three-pointer, 7th of the game for Osage. That's Ivy Menon. 21 points. And the lead is 14 points. Snyder tries to shovel it up in heavy traffic, and Stacy Jansen will pick up the foul. Jansen with her first. Snyder. Misses 2, my goodness.
That's a shocker.
And Jansen picks the iron clean. Ivy Menon to Catherine Hadley. Bodies all over the joint. Hintz the rebound. Take away Hadley. More bodies all over the joint. Well, we got a little roller derby here.
It's going to go on 33, and April Hintz went down pretty hard there in the collision with number 42 Hadley.
Emily Went will get the foul.
Okay, that's what you call a...
That was Olivia Menon. Went with the rebound, and Ivy Menon picks up the foul. It's her second.
Now, quick I know they are. That quick I don't think.
Oh. Mike, we've had some great basketball activity this week, and 4 unbeaten teams advance to this championship Saturday. Dowling and Bettendorf in our first game, and Osage and Hampton-Dumont.
Now we're seeing Hampton extend that defense. Whoop.
Fleming gets her own rebound. And she has 27. Even scoring has been the name of the game for Osage. And deep in the guard court. Nice fall away from the opposite side of the basket. That's Ivy Menon, 23. 1:35 remains in the third quarter. And Snyder has 22. And a 16-point lead. And the takeaway for Olivia Menon, Wentz will get the foul.
Olivia Menon said, you mean? Here was the toss. Menon jumps right in there and intercepts it, comes with it quickly, and it's fouled. Menon did not let the air ball bother her. She came back and made up for it. That's right. Instead of frustration going after someone.
Olivia Menon.
I got 21
points for Olivia Menon. Inside of a minute in the third. Osage fans are on their feet. They can smell it now, Mike. Still got 8 more minutes of basketball as Osage winds down. Will take some air out of the ball and get the final shot of the quarter. Terry Fleming, Ann Snyder, and Ann Knutson. The voice you hear is Gary Knutson.
He's got his 2 quick kids on the wings, and Knutson on the right-hand side. The left-hand side, that's Fleming. They're looking the back door off of it. Yep.
And the foul for Holden Day. And that's her third.
Nothing changes there. We're just taking the ball out of bounds. Is there?
7 seconds remain in the quarter. Defensive change here. Coming on for Osage in the guard court, Melissa Peters.
Oh, that's the softball pitcher. I should have known. I knew I should recognize it. Melissa's the daughter of softball coach Cal Peter, and she is the pitcher for that team.
Ann Knutson with 24. Getting the shot off is Hadley as we head to the fourth quarter. Osage 75, Hampton-Dumont 58. Don't go away. We'll be back with the final 8 minutes in just a moment.
Ever think of your local Cenex or Land O'Lakes cooperative as a landmark? Sure, it's no Grand Canyon or Eiffel Tower, but it's been there for a while. A long while. At Cenex Land O'Lakes, our roots run deep. We're committed to the country and to making your community a better place to live. Your local Cenex or Land O'Lakes co-op, a symbol of the country way of doing things.
In 1970, Bruce Taylor had a dream for his newborn son. He worked 2 jobs, skipped vacations, and never forgot his dream. And after 22 years and a little help from Norwest, his dream has become a reality. For over 100 years, all over Iowa, we've been helping people just like Bruce Taylor. When you come to Norwest, come to expect the best.
Fourth quarter about to get underway. The Fan in the Stands, sponsored by Menards, helping families build America's heartland for 32 years. Save big money at Menards. Here's the Iowa boy, Chuck Offenberger.
Mike Newell, got Jim Helsko with me from Hampton here, a farmer up that way, father of a daughter, Courtney, a reserve on the team. How many Helskos have played basketball for Hampton High?
Oh, probably a dozen or so. And through the years, we had a niece, our cousin, that was a first-team All-Stater back when Carroll first came to town.
Can the Lady Bulldogs make a run here?
They've been a fourth-quarter team. We're sure hoping so.
Well, let's have a look. Thank you. Back up to you, Mike Newell.
Well, thank you, Chuck. And right now, Mike Henderson, the longest 8 minutes in the life of Gary Knutson.
Of course, he's got a great go into it, of course, though. Looks to me like they're going to, I don't think they're going to hold for very long. I think they're just going to force the Hampton defense out, which Hampton was going to do anyway.
Ooh. Biggest lead of the ball game at this hour. 17 points, 75-58 Osage to open the fourth quarter. And Osage. And Knutson. That's Terry Fleming, and now Ann Snyder. Back to Fleming.
That man smiling knew what he was talking about.
Attendance tonight, 11,394 at Dutch Auditorium in Des Moines. 29 points for Terry Fleming.
Oh, he was sheet quick off that step. Hampton-Dumont had to extend the defense. She just rolled right on by him.
And that'll be Hubbinga with the foul, and that's her fourth, and there's timeout with 7:13 remaining. A lead of 19 points, and we'll be back right after this.
When it's time for redecorating, Menards has you covered. Abitibi vinyl decorator panels give you the look of wallpaper, now just $10.88. Mist tile boards are perfect for the kitchen or bath, just $14.99. Dutch Boy Confident paint is on sale, too. It goes on fast and easy, plus it's guaranteed for 6 years. Latex flat is just $6.99 a gallon. Redecorate and save on paint and paneling from Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Dutch Auditorium, Des Moines, Iowa, and those are the numbers. Early out in the fourth quarter, we'll take a look at the Norwest quick stats, Mike.
Amazing shooting, 63.8, 30 of 47. As we've seen all night, they don't take easy shots. They're rolling to the basket at breakneck speed. Rebounds, Osage starting to take advantage, 25-18. Turnovers, basically the same.
And to the free throw line is Terry Fleming to try to make this a 20-point basketball game. I've got her for 30.
I do too.
7:12 remaining. Fleming, the interception at midcourt. Snyder. Fleming again.
Red the court.
Well, and you know what Carroll
Well, goes another one by.
Oh, my goodness. Sneaking right down the lane. And when you put yourself in Carroll Rutland's shoes, he knows that it's very difficult to beat a team that's going to shoot consistently above 60%, and that's what he's run into tonight.
Right.
25 for Ivy Menon. Boy, has she had a good tournament, Mike. And Ann Snyder.
Oh, yeah, Menon started right now with a 54-point effort and hasn't looked back in the scoring race.
This is the fourth unbeaten team that Hampton-Dumont has had to face. And that's the freshman Olivia Menon with 23. And Hampton-Dumont beat 3 of them, but has run into the buzzsaw tonight against unbeaten Osage. 7 seniors for the Lady Devils, the Green Devils, or the Doublettes. You can have it anyway. 7 seniors are playing in their final game. And the foul as Knutson had the breakaway to the basket, and Hovinga with their 5th.
The quickness is getting right behind them. Well, just trying to catch her on the shoulder and keep her from getting away. I'm just going through my book looking for close scores on Osage. Has anybody stayed with them in the tournament? They just walked away from everybody who's played them.
Yes, they have. Defensively, giving up just 49 points and scoring 80.3 along the way. Couple for Ann Knutson. I've got it for 28. I hope I'm keeping track with you, Mike. 82-62. The lead is 20. Hadley. Hadley threads her way to the defense, and reaching in on her will be Elizabeth Scholl. Her second.
A very quick. Hadley just moving away to battle that until she gets body in there just a little bit.
And getting the tie-up will be Nikki Goss.
They only had one team all season come within 10 of them. That was Forest City. That was a 9-point contest.
Inbounds guard cross for Osage with 5:16 remaining. Fleming.
Easy. Olivia.
Ah, you heard Gary Knutson. Easy now, easy.
There it is.
Rebound for Hampton-Dumont. Stacey Jansen, who herself was at a great tournament. I'll tell you this, Osage is not letting up. No, sir. Jansen gets a hand on the basketball.
Fleming got a hand on Jackson.
Yep, Fleming will pick up her first.
Okay, here we see. Going around.
April Hintz. Hintz in on Ivy Menon driving to the iron.
I thought I was going to tell by the hair. Now I see why I could throw. Three just alike.
A lot of ponytails out there.
All three just alike.
Nikki Goss picks up her third. And shots for Catherine Hadley.
Does that look like a coach? Now this one does. Did the first one look like a coach who was up 20 points in the state championship game?
Well, he's going to try to make it 30 before the dust settles on this one.
I'll tell you, Hampton's got one run left in him. Mike, they've got one good run left in them.
17 now for Catherine Hadley. 82-65. Inside the 4-minute mark, we're halfway through the fourth quarter.
Dribble. We're going to man-to-man, just like I talked about before.
Boy, that spread floor violation. That spread floor situation with Knutson was upset. He thought that was a makeable basket, but that spread floor formation has been productive. And that's your solution to that stiff concourt pressure.
We're going to catch the foul here. Nikki Goss just backed right into Catherine Hadley. Both going for the half pass. It was the front girl, Goss, the foul was called on.
Goss will get her fourth.
Okay.
3:25.
Now we got Hackenmiller and went in with Getsu. She never goes out. 8 for Hampton.
Yep. Hadley has 18. And
Yep.
violation, mishandled
The
the
first time
basketball.
with the left hand, the second time with both hands.
West with the inbounds assignment. Hinch gets it up the boards across the timeline. And again, the spread formation for Osage.
There you go.
Fleming has a habit of making it look easy. She has 32. Inside 3. Back up to an 18-point lead. Ivy Menon is 27.
Go left. Go up straight. Get your ball up here and go up straight. Don't be fading.
Fleming and Snyder and Knutson continue with the spread floor. And the Osage fans are on their feet. Keep it up, they say.
Get up! Get up!
You know who won the first state championship ever contested in Ben's Auditorium?
Who dat?
Goldfield. Their coach was Jim Carroll. Jim Carroll hired Carroll Luglin at Montezuma when he was superintendent there. Jim Carroll hired Gary Knutson at Montezuma when he was there. Jim Carroll's the superintendent of Osage right now.
My, he has the Midas touch, doesn't he?
Oh, he's done really well with girls basketball.
Two fouls for Stacy Jansen. 2 free throws for Terry Fleming. And 34 points inside of 2 minutes. Back up to an 18-point lead.
Boom.
90 seconds away for a state championship for the Develettes from Osage.
Well,
And their
Troy's
first.
not going to name it exactly anyway. He did pretty good.
Post up. Post up. Post up, man. Post up. Post up.
Osage about to wrap up a perfect season at 27-0. Hampton-Dumont about to absorb its first loss with a minute remaining. Osage fans are loving it. And I don't know if a team ever really knows in its heart of hearts that they can win the state championship. But I don't know that Osage has had a bad quarter in this tournament, Mike.
No, they haven't. None of us all week figured out how good they really are. It's a great basketball team. We talked about how good the Five-Class Championship team was comparatively.
Nothing flashy, nothing spectacular, very steady, very even. No weaknesses on this team that I can see.
This was a great state tournament field with the unbeaten, the number of rated teams. No one has even come close to it.
And the Osage fans are on their feet for a good reason. The waterworks starting a little ahead of time. And Terry Fleming leads the lineup.
Well, 2 to 1 highlight.
How many do you have for Terry Fleming?
35 I got. It could be 36. I was in trouble on one free throw, but I think 35.
I think you're right. 36. Terry Fleming with her cohorts in crime. And as we wind down to the half-minute mark, Osage going to put a lid on it. The foul on number 11, Angie Merrick, and now Olivia Mannon's going to go play with some people her own age instead of all those seniors. In for Osage in the guard court. At the likes of Melissa Peter, Angie Merrick. Also on board is Carrie Coster. Now in the forward court, that's Renee Evenson. Anna Fakis. And who else do we have? That's Jennifer Mayer. I have to bring it in. Down to 10 seconds. You'll hear the countdown. And there it is. The 1992 State of Iowa six-player champion, Osage, not looking over the shoulder, beating Hampton-Dumont. Well, they're dancing in the streets in Osage, Iowa, and let's go to George Turner.
The school is receiving two $500 scholarships to be presented by the school to one male and one female student athlete or cheerleader in any sport of that school. The two scholarships are funded through courtesy of Norwest Banks, Iowa. Receiving the award for six-player basketball is Roland Dyer, the athletic director of Atlantic High. Now let's meet the all-tournament team in the six-player tournament. From Osage, April Hintz. From Hampton-Dumont, Catherine Hadley. From Colonesco, Kathy McDaniel. From Osage, Terry Fleming. From Atlantic, Angie Runchie. From Colonesco, Missy Miller. From Hampton-Dumont, Stacy Jensen. And the captain of the all-tournament team, the player receiving the most votes, as voted on by the media attending the tournament and the coaches here, from Hampton-Dumont, Ivy Menon. Once again, the awards are being presented by the president of the board of directors of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, the superintendent of schools at Manson Northwest Webster, Keith Hart. Now the championship runner-up trophy to Coach Carol Rugland and the Hampton-Dumont Bulldogs. And the traditional red coat to the championship coach, to Osage coach Gary Knutson. And the championship trophy for the 1992 six-player tournament, Coach Gary Knutson and the Osage Devilettes.
The tears are flowing on the floor at Vets Auditorium. Not a tear just yet from Gary Knutson, but they would be well-deserved tears. Gary, you traded in that green jacket for the red jacket. What a spectacular performance for your Devilettes. How you feeling right about now?
Obviously, I feel wonderful right now. I guess maybe what I feel the best about is I don't think a lot of people gave us a chance to even being in a ball game, but except our kids and us and maybe our fans. We knew Hampton had an excellent ball club, and I guess maybe that was a big part of it. We just had to come out and play as tough as we could and be loose. We felt every game down here we got a little more loose, a little more relaxed, and we hadn't shot the ball as well as I thought we could. I don't know what we shot tonight, but I know it was good. This fourth game, every time we get a little bit better, and these kids are wonderful.
Into the second quarter, this basketball team of yours was shooting 75% basketball. You didn't play a bad quarter of basketball throughout the entire tournament.
Well, I don't know about the entire tournament, but I do know that one of the things we stressed and talked about, and especially our forwards, is that Hampton-Dumont will keep coming at you, and we have to play 4 quarters. We can't play a quarter and cut it down and then come back again. And I'll have to look at stats, but I don't think we had a bad quarter. They took it at them when they needed to. They got the ball in and out. I think we got 3 excellent forwards that maybe what I'm most proud about is they don't care who gets the points. They just care who gets the points, and that's impressive. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, great support from the Osage fans, and 7 seniors say goodbye to your program, Gary, and I know that you feel a great debt of gratitude to them, the fans and the 7 seniors who have put so much into it.
Well, those seniors have worked for a long time. You know, they're excellent athletes, number one, and when you got athletes that want to be winners on the floor or in life, whatever it is, good things can happen. One of them just said, we won and it seemed so easy. Well, I don't think it was easy, but it was a win for a great bunch of kids, and the seniors are great leaders, great leaders.
Gary, congratulations to you.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Gary Knutson, he is the head coach of the Osage Devilettes, and they claim the 6-player championship for 1992. This puts a lid on our coverage of the 1992 Iowa Girls State High School basketball tournament. The Maroons from Dowling and West Des Moines claim the 5-player championship. The Devilettes from Osage, Iowa, claiming the 6-player championship here at Vets. And now we leave you with this thought that truly the Iowa girl is number 1.